Let's face it.
Let's talk about what we just talked about.
That's right. We are alive. Good morning, everybody. We're so glad to have you here. Welcome to the Everyday Riches Show. I am Pat Knauer, and my co-host is
Barbara Lunan Ellison. Good morning, everybody.
We were just talking about buying a green screen and the logic behind, you know, how we are going to have a guest later this morning, coming in just a few minutes, but we want to chat a few minutes with you this morning anyway. And somebody is here on live. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. And if you're watching this on replay, make sure to put hashtag replay. But we were just talking, Barbara's buying a portable green screen.
I am. A present from me to me. Early birthday present.
Yeah.
That's the other justification.
And how you buy with emotion and justify with logic. And how she was saying that, you know, she spends the amount of the green screen when she goes out to dinner. And I said, yeah, that's really great logic, except that, you know, we hear that all the time. You spend X amount of dollars when you go to the coffee shop, you know, once every day for a month, whatever. So why not put it into something else? But what the logic doesn't really talk about is that you still want that cup of coffee. Yeah. So not only do you spend the money on the cup of coffee, but you also spend it on the things. So now you're saying, wait a minute, now I spent double the amount. That logic doesn't really seem to work for me. So how about for you?
You know what? Exactly. But the thing is, and then of course, then you think you have to totally justify it. I said, right. Well, yeah, but when I go to, I'm going to give them a plug. Portillo's. I have discovered their ribs. I don't know if everybody has Portillo's where they are.
Right?
This is near Chicago, based in Chicago. Yeah, Portillo's has really good ribs, and they've been around since like 1965. I think was the first, and I can remember going to the original Doghouse. Yeah, because I moved to the Chicago. It was a dog. It was called Portillo's Doghouse.
Oh wow!
And it was just a little chip wagon type shack of that. The type like I'm Canadian, and we always had chip wagons. That these chip wagons, they're like the New York, the things you see on the streets of New York that are just these little vendor things. But they were chip wagons, and they were an actual wagon, and they were the best fries. So when the Doghouse, it was like, oh yeah, and I moved to the Chicago area in '73. So it was like, oh, it's a Doghouse. Let's go. So for me, it was not something out of the ordinary. So we went. Well, anyways, so this is how I justified having my green screen, because once in a great while, has a treat, I will go to Portillo's and order their ribs. And it was like, they were so good. They really are. But my green screen, I'm really going to be able to use, because it is going to be utilitarian, because it's one of those little portable things that comes in its own little pouch, and it'll attach to the back of my chair. So, because sometimes when you go out, or if I'm somewhere that doesn't have a really great background, but you do want to do a little live or something, you can always have your same screen. So, you know, your virtual background. Yeah, and we love virtual backgrounds.
You know, I don't love virtual backgrounds for the most part. And the reason I don't love them is because people's arms and heads and hair and stuff goes in and out of the screen.
Right. That's what this green screen, that's why it's the quality of the green screen. That changes. If you do not have a really good solid green screen, that's what happens. You'll lose parts of it. And I learned that from Steve Erickson. And he says, yeah, it depends on your green screen.
Because a lot of people don't use green screens, number one, and the ones that do, a lot of times they're not a great quality, because so much of the virtual background relies on your lighting.
Exactly.
And if you don't have great lighting, if it's inconsistent, or one side is too dark and one side is too light, and maybe it's really bright in front of you, like this one is, then it can really it can shift what's going on with your screen, and because of it, it really does become, let's face it, a mess. We've all seen it.
Yeah. And I found that out the hard way. Okay, I'm going to tell on myself. You know what? I love being authentic. Because you know what? Things happen. Life happens. And this is one of those life lessons. And, you know, and I do interviews. And I swap interviews with people that, you know, like I'll interview them for their audience, and they'll interview me to share me with their audience. Anyway, so I was doing this and it was just going really well, and it was fun. And then I realized, whoops, it's getting to be dark out. And I hadn't turned on any of my lights.
Oh no.
Because when we first started it, it was really bright, and it was when the time was changing. Don't we love time, universal time changes?
Yeah, we love it.
Why don't they just leave it alone? Leave it alone. Let's stick on one and leave it. Anyways, pet peeve. So I had totally forgotten about the time change. So there was me, it was still really light. And then all of a sudden, of course, it started to get dark. And I went, because got that splotchy, started to get splotchy. And I just said, oh, well, I can't do anything about it. So let's continue. And it was just such a fun life lesson. Just because, what, life does happen to you. And if you let the what ifs, if I stop to think, what if my green screen, my virtual background crashed? Well, if you think about all those things, and people do,
I know,
and they let it stop them.
Yes, they do. Thankfully, that's not you, and that's not what we do here, right?
And
we
that's
just
not we just right. Look at the times that we've had things happen.
More than a few. Let's just say that more than a few. Yeah.
But wasn't that the premise of us starting this show to begin with?
It was, and
to be real.
Exactly. And so I will tell you that this past Friday, I got the opportunity to go to a mastermind that costs $100,000 to start to get into.
Yeah.
And I was invited by somebody to go as her guest to this mastermind. And so I said, yes, I'd love to go. She could only invite a couple people. So I said, yes, I'd love to go for the one day only out of the 3 days. Very interesting mastermind. Anyway, so I waited. So I went on Facebook. I went to my email. I didn't see any kind of information to get into it. So I contacted her knowing that she was getting ready for the mastermind. And I said, hey, I haven't received any information. Well, I didn't get anything back from her. So, okay, what am I going to do? Right. So I tried contacting her a couple of other different ways. And finally, about an hour and a half into it, she contacted me back and said, check your junk mail. And I said, I don't have junk mail. I don't put junk mail on my business email because I want to make sure I see everything that comes in. So she contacted them again. So eventually I did get into, I was about 2 hours late. And what I missed was basically KPIs and everything. But I will tell you, it was the most amazing thing I've ever been to. I understand why it's worth $100,000. And to say that, and it starts at 100,000. They have higher level programs. This starts at 100,000. When this woman went into the mastermind, when she finally decided to jump in and do this, she paid 100,000 to get in up front. Within a month, she'd made 350,000.
Right. And that's the power of a mastermind.
Get why. Not only the mindset that goes around it. So I learned something new yesterday. In fact, I'll finish this story in just a second, but I learned something new yesterday. It was really great. It's from John Assaraf. Really, really great. So if you draw 3 circles, you have the middle circle, a bigger circle, and a larger circle. The middle circle is what you know about your clients. It's everything you know about your clients because you know your ideal client really well. We hope you really understand your ideal client. The next circle is what you know about your business and about the product you're delivering, the service, all that stuff. So the middle circle is 5%. The bigger circle is 15%. So that's 20%. The other 80% is what you don't know that you don't know.
Exactly.
And that's why coaching and mentoring becomes such a big deal because there's so much out there that you don't know that if you're ignoring that, then you are stifling your business. Right. There's this compression that goes on. This 80% is pushing in on the 20%. And you don't know the things that you don't know. So you can't really advance and grow and change your business and change your life. So coaching becomes like a really big deal. So, she decided to jump in and pay this 100,000 to get the 350,000 because there were things that she didn't know. Things I didn't know going in. So I've been involved in masterminds for a long time. And I've run masterminds and they've been great. And people get great results out of it. And I'm getting ready to launch some new masterminds this year. But based on what I learned at this particular mastermind, I'm going to be changing things up in a big way. I'm going to be not doing what they're doing because it's not really the right way that I want to do it. But so but I would definitely pay their 100,000. So what they do is that they meet 4 times a year for 3 days, which I thought was really, really interesting. And they focus on one strategy. The entire weekend is around one strategy only. It's not, what's your problem? What's your problem? What's your problem? It's not that kind of a mastermind, right? It's not identifying your bigger problems and having everybody tag team to, get the momentum to get out of it. This whole weekend is about building momentum. And it's a very different way of doing it. And then Monday through Friday, they have daily coaching.
Wow. Yeah.
For an entire year, they have daily coaching Monday through Friday. Right. Amazing, right? Of course, it's all done in a group coaching format, and there is a format to it. But I definitely get what they're doing, and I see why people are getting the results they're getting.
Right, and the thing is that so often people say, "Well, why would I want to be part of a group?" I learn so much from being in the group, because if you only have one perspective, which is your coach, and yes, we all need coaches. I have 2.
Yes.
And Pat and I coach each other all the time.
And I have 3.
And you have 3. So the thing is, though, but in the group, people can give you one little spark of an idea.
Yeah.
And your brain will run with it.
Absolutely.
Will absolutely run with it.
And I believe that everybody should have a one-on-one coach, a business coach, a life coach, and a health coach. Everybody should have one of each. Because
technically I have 3 too.
Yes, because not only is it getting a different perspective, but it's also holding you accountable.
Right.
And making sure that you get the support that you need to be able to take those big jumps in life. I've got this one client we're starting in the 2nd year together. And this past year, it's been all about her business growth. She's gone from having 4 part-time employees to 17 full-time employees in a year.
Wow. Yeah.
Her business has gone up over 300% in a year. Her income, I should say, has gone up over 300% in a year. So yes, having a one-on-one coach is critical, but having that group component, you're right, Barbara, what you said, that, having people being able to give ideas about what they're doing, because we all have come from a different perspective, and what you don't know, and there's no way of knowing it other than to think outside of the box. In fact, there's this guy by the name of Billy Jean. I love what he says. He doesn't say think like, he says, don't think out of the box, think like there is no box.
Right. In fact, I just read that.
Yeah.
I just read that again. And it's absolutely the truth, because we cannot possibly know. That's like one of the things that I'm excited about is that I'm doing a webinar. And we're going to put a link in the chat next Wednesday. And it's going to be on having clarity and having conversations. And it's going to start with the conversations we have with ourselves. And that is absolutely so critical, is that because what we say to ourselves can impact from the moment we wake up. Yes. So we're going to talk about clarity. We're going to talk about how people learn and how we don't see how we learn. Like I had one of my gals, I was doing a similar presentation, and we were talking about the styles of learning, of how we learn. And she came off and she said, "Barb, for the first time in my life, I don't feel stupid." I said, and it just stopped me for a second. I said, "Well, what do you mean by, tell me more. What do you mean by that?" And she said, "Well, all of my whole family, they're all visual learners. And I'm not. And I always thought there was something wrong with me because I didn't learn the way they did." Yeah. And it was huge for her. Absolutely huge for her, because she didn't know. And that's why, and for me, I thought everybody knew about learning styles and stages of learning and stages of learning. Exactly. And now my new word, of course, is connectionism, right? Which is the science of learning. I am loving it. That's fantastic. Loving it. And that was one of those times of just sitting quiet. I was driving, as a matter of fact, but just be open to things that are going to just drop into your consciousness. Yeah. And the word connectionist dropped into my consciousness. We're all connected. Right. Everyone. We are all connected. So from somewhere in the universe, connectionist. But I was driving, so I couldn't check on it to see where it came from or anything, and still have no idea. The universe, thank you, Lord.
I know.
But
it's like when I used several years ago came up with the word reinventionist.
Exactly.
And in fact, I think I was the one who coined that term. Out there is some stuff about reinventionism, but yeah. And I mean, it's so funny because I let it go and it's sucking me right back in. It's all about reinventing yourself and reinventing your life and reinventing your business and reinventing everything to make sure that life works for you. And just like connectionism, making sure you connect with the people and connect with yourself in a way that's whole and healthy. But you also have to reinvent yourself from time to time, like it or not. You know, most of us don't start at birth and end at death being the same person throughout life. You change as time goes on. Your business changes as life goes on. Your relationship changes as life goes on. So let's get real about it and let's reinvent in a really whole and healthy way.
And you know, and that's exactly it. And one of the things that I had a conversation yesterday with some people, and we were talking about Clubhouse. And there have been people that have come onto Clubhouse thinking they're going to use it as the next way to make $1 million and get millions of followers. And now Clubhouse is saying, hey, you know what? No, we want this to be an authentic way for people to connect.
Right.
In an authentic way. Yes, there will be side businesses made. Absolutely. Absolutely. But it is not just about making a dollar. It's about having impact and influence and then income.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I've kind of tuned out from Clubhouse lately. You know, I was really hot and heavy on it for a short time, but what I found was that when I was getting on, so many people were pitching. They spent the entire time pitching. It was like, enough. I'm not interested in being pitched.
Right. Exactly.
I want to do business with people that I know, like, and trust, but you're not giving me a chance to know, like, and trust me because all you're doing is pitching me. And that's just not cool.
And that's one of the things that was part of the conversation yesterday that we were having in our accountability group, that pick and choose the times that you're going to go on, but watch for a couple of weeks to see who you resonate with, who has the same mindset that you do, and then follow them where they go.
Yeah.
Because then chances are you will meet the same type of person that you want to meet, because they will be, that's who you want to look like. With me, I want to work with heart-centered entrepreneurs. That's who I want to work with. I don't want to work with flash in the pans. I don't want to. I want to work with somebody who wants to have influence and have income and as well as impact in the world, to do something good. What's their mission in life? That's what I want to find out first. What's their mission? What's their overall mission? Like mine is to make happiness the norm.
Yeah, can we talk about missions? Can we talk about mission statements for the moment? Oh my gosh. So I'm having an appointment today with a company or a woman with a company who is, they're in the home services industry. Let's just call it that. But they sell products. And I went and read their mission statement today. And they ended it with, in fact, let me look at what they ended it with, because I looked at it and went, you've got to be kidding, right? Because sometimes people can really sell themselves short because what they put in their mission statement is too salesy.
Exactly.
So your mission statement should be about who you are and what your ultimate goal is. It's not about selling somebody on the spot. So it said, so it started with, our mission is to be, and then it talked about what it is in the market. And then they added, offering quality products at competitive prices.
Right. Yeah.
At that point, had I been a buyer for them, they're not selling something I would buy. I'm not a buyer for them. But if I had been a buyer for them, I would have just totally shut it off.
Right.
Because people, again, we want to buy, we don't want to be sold to.
Right. Exactly.
So when it's pitch, enough. Give value. It was really interesting. I was watching a video last night in a program that I own and that I sell. But I was watching this video, and the person who was speaking was talking about connecting with people on social media. And never, ever, 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 ever pitch somebody before, or even suggest having an off the cuff conversation with them, off the platform conversation, until you've had 6 back and forths with them.
Right.
It's really important because otherwise people think you're just coming on too strong and you're pitching. That's not what you want to do.
Right. It's like asking somebody to marry you on your first date.
Exactly. But
unless that's the specific, like sometimes you can be totally specific. Like with me, sometimes I'll send a message say, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for somebody to swap interviews with me. That's a different story. But if if that's a totally different story, if you are looking for specific things that you'll do for them, and if they do it for you, that's a different story. However, but if you are just out there trying to build a relationship with somebody, have some dialogue back and forth.
Social media is relationship building. It's not meant to be a quick sale.
I'm sorry. I'm getting pinged. I'm wondering if Jason is having trouble getting in.
Maybe.
The StreamYard.
Yeah. So I'll just go off my little tangent here, although it's not really a
tangent.
Go
off on your tangent, and you just please ignore me that I'm looking.
Yeah, no problem. So if you want to get business quickly, there's a couple things to do to get business quickly. And probably the fastest way, and most people will say, oh, I hate it, is cold calling. But that is the fastest way to get business. If you need business out there, go and start cold calling, go and start door knocking, go and start, going and making direct relationships with people. Go and network, like live networking, not, doing something like the Happy Neighborhood Project or something like that. Again, that's more longer term. But if you have time to build relationships, then start building relationships and think about social media as building a relationship. This is a place where you build know, like, and trust. You get out there and you have, conversations with people about who they are, what they're up to. Most people who are on social media are there for one reason and one reason only, and that's to be social. They're not, yes, business is done through social media, but you want to wait until the person that you're talking to asks you what you do. You don't want to say, oh, this is what I do. Now, one of the things that I've been doing lately, and I'm testing it out because it was recommended to me by somebody who's done business this way for a long time, is when I connect with somebody on LinkedIn, and I've started trying to do it on Facebook, it's not working as well, but on LinkedIn, when somebody connects with me, what I do is I say to them, thank you so much for connecting with me. I actually send them an audio or a video rather than doing it in type. And I connect with them and I say, thank you so much for connecting with me. I know that social media can be filled with nameless, faceless pitches all the time. That's not the way that I work. I hate being pitched that way too. So, just if you haven't looked at my profile, and I give them one sentence about me and that's it. And I say, again, thank you so much for connecting with me. And then I give them a gift. As a gift for connecting with me, I want to give this to you. If it doesn't work for you, if you're not interested in it, no problem. I'll continue to follow you. But if it does, just let me know. I'll shoot it off to you. So if they say yes, then I shoot it off to them. And again, I say, thank you for connecting. I hope you'll let me know if this was valuable for you. And that's where I leave it. It's up to them to get back to me. Right. Again, I'm building a relationship. Now, again, will I send something to them again later on? You bet. But it may not be something that I'm sending to them about me. It may be something that I see that's valuable to them about their industry or whatever. I'm not out to have to pitch everybody out there. I want to make sure that they actually want to do business with me first. And if they do, and if they ask me, well, tell me a little bit more about what you do, then yes, of course, I will tell them what they do. But
because chances are they've gone to look at your profile.
And if they haven't, it gives them an opportunity to go and look at my profile.
Exactly.
And if they're interested, they're going to let me know. If they're not interested, fine, let's move on. No big deal. I don't want to push somebody into working with me. I don't want to waste my time or theirs.
Right. Exactly.
Not interested in wasting somebody's time. So
yeah, it's all about adding value to somebody else's life.
It is. It is.
And and then so if you like, one of the things that I've really finally embraced is that so often we are so caught up in the results.
Yeah.
Results are your lag indicators.
Right.
That means you're not being effective.
That's
the
right.
only thing that you need to focus on is your lead indicators. Your lead indicators are you going out there and connecting with people, you going out there and doing an interview, you going out there and talking to people, whether it's in a mall or wherever you are talking to people. That's what you can control. You can't control what somebody else is going to do with the information.
Right.
So quit beating yourself up for the stuff that's not happening. Go out there and do the stuff that could possibly get it to happen.
Right. So the lead indicators are the things that you do to go out and get business. They're the speaking on people's platforms. It's the going and having doing cold calls. It's door knocking on buildings. It's going to networking events. It's making those connections up front. Those are your lead indicators. And when you're looking at a KPI, the key performance indicators, you want to look at how many people you're talking to, or how many people you're contacting, how many people you're engaging with, how many people you're doing a presentation with, how many people you're doing you're actually making an offer to, and then how many people you're actually getting a sale from. You want to follow each one of these because you'll get the statistics of how many people you need to talk to in order to get a sale. So you want to control those lead indicators, and the more people you get out there and talk to in the course of a day, the higher probability of sales are going to be on the back end. But if you're not talking to enough people in the front end, you're definitely not going to get enough sales on the back end.
You'll never get the back end.
No. And I know the recommended amount for years and years and years has been 100 contacts a day. It's what you got to do one way or the other. So you can do a combination of different kinds of things, but understand that if you're doing social media, it's going to be a longer process than if you're going out and doing more direct ways of contacting people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
exactly. And it doesn't, and some of the contact stuff, I mean, if you need to hire a virtual assistant to help you do that, then do it.
Right.
Absolutely. Because you can't, because if you are especially if you're like a solopreneur that is just getting going, and you're trying to fit this into the nooks and crannies of your life, number one, and Pat's a big thing on this, schedule your work time.
Absolutely.
Nothing interferes with your scheduled work time.
It's an appointment with yourself and your business.
Exactly. Even if it is 2 hours, 4 days a week.
Right.
It's something that is scheduled, and that is your work time. And then out of that, then do the lead indicators that we need to do, because 20% of usually 80% of your income comes from 20% of what you do.
Right. Exactly. 80-20 rule.
It's the 80-20 rule. Yeah. And it's just amazing. And when that finally hit me, it's like, oh, duh.
So there's only 5 things that go into the 20%.
Yeah.
It's leads, how many people you convert, how many transactions you have per customer, your pricing model. I mean, do you have enough profit built into your pricing model? Yeah. And then your profitability. That's it. Everything else is 80%, and that's the stuff that sucks up your time and doesn't produce you, and it doesn't give you any kind of impact or income producing results.
Okay, I'm going to tell on myself for a second here.
Uh-oh.
And you know what? No, it's actually a good thing. And don't reinvent the wheel.
True.
Don't reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
And the thing is, one of the things that I was looking at, I said, "Oh, I really need a new website." For a couple of the new things that I'm doing. So this morning I said, I'm going to look at my website and see. And so then the thought was like, well, let me see what my website is now and see if I can repurpose it a little bit. Oh, yike. It is going to be so easy to just repurpose a couple of little tweaks. Because I said, you know what? I like what it says, because I'm just going to add another page to it, another resource to it, instead of creating a whole new website.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's reality. If you're fairly new and getting going, don't worry about a website.
And don't
worry about a logo. Just go out and get some business. That's it. That's it. Go get some business. That's it. I know several people who have built multi-million-dollar businesses and they don't have a website. Millions, not just millions, and they don't have a website. Yeah. One woman that I know has, she didn't get a website until she hit 4 million a year. She did all on Facebook, didn't need it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And that's one of the things too, is because lots of times they say that people don't buy from a website. They go to a website for information.
Yeah. Oh, here was another mindset shift the other day. Oh, this was big. It's not B2B. It's not B2B, business to business. It's not B2C, business to consumer. It's H to H, humans to humans.
Humans. Absolutely.
We are doing human to human.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's one of the things, like with me, when I'm talking to somebody, like yesterday, one of the appointments that I had this afternoon was with a couple, and we were just talking about the different personality things. And I was just sharing with them, well, with the blueprint ones, I mean, you need to have a step by step. And the action ones, they want to know about the opportunity, and the nurturers, they want to know about the impact. And the knowledge people, they want to know all the data.
Right.
And they were like, oh,
and the
right.
action people just want to get going.
And it's like, and the actions just want to get going. Exactly.
Right.
And they were like, oh yeah, we're missing a couple of pieces, aren't we? And I went, yeah, you are. So let's work on it. So we have an appointment this afternoon, and we're going to just share with them what I do. And they're so excited because they said, oh yeah, we're missing a couple of things.
Yeah. So Barb's product that she works with is called Bank, BANK, and it deals with 4 different personality types, or a bunch of different personality type things out there.
Yeah.
But one of the things that Bank has done that's been really kind of cool is that you're able to go online and get your code right off, right? Whether you're a B, an A, an N, or a K, right off the bat, where your primary is. Everybody's got all 4 of the personality types. But you get that right off the bat. And then you learn how to speak in each other's languages. So it just makes your communication a whole lot clearer and helps you to increase your sales. It's a dynamic product. It's been around for, oh, goodness gracious.
Oh, 25 years?
Bank has been around that long?
Bank has been 25 years.
That. Wow.
But personality science itself has been around for 2,500 years.
Right.
Back in the days of Hippocrates, 400 BC.
Yeah.
So this is nothing new. Just Sherry Tree, the founder, she developed the new system to be able to give people the opportunity to be able to talk to somebody in how they want to be talked to.
Absolutely. Yes.
And that's where that human to human comes in. Exactly. And it's just and if anybody wants a free personality assessment, just let me know. And it's just a fun thing, because then you get a free report too about your strengths and your weaknesses. And those are the things that it starts with. That conversation we talked about before, about in my course, it's going to be, talking to yourself.
Yeah.
Quit beating yourself up for the stuff that you're not, and focus on and celebrate the things that you are.
Right. Right.
Because not every one of us is Oprah. You might want to have a show like Oprah. Okay, fine. But you're never going to be Oprah, because only Oprah is Oprah.
And you don't know what you don't know.
And you don't back to the
It's interesting. Last night I spent the evening. I know I should have been taking time off, but anyway, I spent the evening doing something I'd been putting off for a really long time, and I was revising my LinkedIn profile.
Oh, okay.
Because in my business, I focus on helping people get leads. Of course, that's part of a business, especially if they need it. But like, for instance, the company I'm talking to today, they have all the business that they really need. They're a $4 million business. They're doing $4 million a year. So they're okay with that. But the problem is this, their operations are a mess. So a lot of times, you can have enough leads coming in, but if you can't convert them into sales, that's a problem. If you don't have an infrastructure in your business to be able to handle more business coming in, that's a problem. There's one company that I've been working with. It's really interesting. We had to stop her. I had to stop her at one point in the very recent past, because she has been paying boatloads of money for Google ads. I mean, like boatloads of money for Google ads, and getting all these leads coming in. And yes, they're viable and they're really great at converting them. The problem is they don't have the staff and they don't have the infrastructure to handle the amount of business that they have coming in their door, or, potential business coming into their door. So getting leads is a really small part of your business. Having the rest of the business operating in such a way that you're able to handle those leads. You've got the customer service, you've got the employees, you've got the billing systems, you've got the CRM systems, you've got the way of handling the accounting. All that has to be put in place, because a lot of times people think leads. I got to get all these leads in. I've got to get all these potential customers in. Yeah, but if you don't have the back end set up to be able to handle all of this, you're throwing your money away.
Exactly.
And that's what I love working on more than anything.
Yeah, and that's where a friend of mine is right now. And I love her dearly. And but it's her husband that's driving. He's buying leads.
Oh,
but you don't have the
nothing wrong with
structures.
buying leads.
And there's
Leads
nothing
are good.
wrong. Nothing. Leads
Right.
are good. You need leads, but you got to have the structure to handle leads. So
Yeah.
and I have to tell you, I've been guilty of that. And Jason says the link is not working.
We're on.
We're on. We're here.
Well, maybe we need to schedule Jason for next week.
Okay.
Maybe it wasn't meant to be because we're 35 minutes into the show and getting ready to wrap up. So maybe he can do it next week instead.
Okay. So, all right. So let me, just, talk, Pat, talk.
I can talk. I can talk a million miles a day. Anyway, so here's another thing that's happening. So there are a couple of things that I'm working on right now. Very shortly, I don't want to compete with Barb, so I'm not going to put it out there for the same time frame, but I'm going to be doing a 2-hour masterclass to get your finances in order for your business. It's going to be a killer. It's going to be live. You're going to get on and you're actually going to work on your finances on the call so that when you walk away, your finances are in better shape and that you've got a better profit and loss statement. If you don't have a profit and loss statement, you're going to learn how to build one. But you're going to actually learn how to control the money that's going out of your business, not just the money that's coming in. So that's number one. Number two, I am the education and business development chair for a Chamber of Commerce here in Central Florida. If you're in the Central Florida area, connect with me because we're doing what's called the iLatina Leadership Experience. We're not doing a retreat. We're going to do the retreat next year. We can actually go away. The iLatina Leadership Experience is a one-day experience. And I'm frozen, and I hope I'm not frozen on your end. I hope it's only on my end. There we go. I'm back. Anyway, so it's going to be a one-day, July 17th in DeLand, Florida. It's going to be at a hotel. It's going to be going from 8 until 6. And we're going to have these amazing leadership speakers coming in. It'll totally change the way you run your business, whether you're a solopreneur, whether you've got a company that's got, 300, 400, 500 employees. It will change the way you do it. In fact, we've even got people coming from large organizations that have several thousand people. They're sending some people to it. So that's that. And again, it's going to be a one-day experience. It's going to be amazing. The third thing is that at the end of August, again, in the Central Florida area, we're doing a one day for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Volusia County. In fact, I think it's even more than just Volusia County, but anyway, it's going to be Boys and Girls Clubs. It's going to be a fundraiser for them. That's even going to be the 3rd or the 4th Saturday in August. Again, connect with me if you're in the area. It's going to be really super, 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 and Boys and Girls Clubs get benefit out of it. So, interesting thing that happened. So I'm going to be one of the speakers at that one. Not only am I organizing, but I'm going to be one of the speakers. And I went into my folder with my signature talks. They're all gone.
Oh no.
I have no idea of where they've gone, but they're gone. So I get to reinvent my signature talk for this year. It's going to be just amazing.
But you know what? You're in a different place now. And this is what we started the show with. Life happens.
Yep.
And so now I just invited Jason.
Yes, he said that he's going to be on next week. He said, I can see you both. Looking forward to next week. So are we, cool, Jason. Jason, we're so excited. We want to give you the full benefit of all of it. But yes, you're right about being in a different place, totally in a different place. So I'm doing the 3 E's of business, which is going to be so awesome.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'll talk about that later, a different time. But
that's me, the 3 C's, clarity, conversations, and cash.
That's right.
Because those are the things we need.
I think that's one of the things that Jay Fizzette says is clarity, conversations, and cash. I think that's one of his taglines. So anyway, yes, Jason, it will be better this time around. Yes, it's going to be so much better this time around because, I'm in a different place and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm actually really energized by the whole thing because it's going to be, all about empowering people in a very different way than I've done before. It's not just delivering information. I want people to walk away from everything they do saying, wow, that was an experience.
Right.
And that's why I'm so excited about this iLatina Leadership Experience. Oh my God, I'm so excited about it. People are going to walk around going, whoa, I'm not sure what just happened, but I am a totally different person. And I'm not speaking at that one. These are all people who are professionals in leadership, and it's just going to totally rock their world.
And Pat, look at the times that you and I have come away from a class that we've done. Pat and I have done a lot of things together, just a lot of things together. And so often then we would be up till 2, 3 in the morning going, we've got to stop talking about this because
I
we
know.
have to get back up again at 7, but we just had there were times of such clarity, and then to be able to talk about it,
Yeah.
to bounce the ideas back and forth. That's the beauty of doing these, and then having somebody to just really get to, who understands where you're coming from,
Yes.
and to see all the sides, because we all have sides of us, and it is so cool. And doing this show was one of those things. We had been to a class, and then we were sitting at the beach. Let's do a show. It took us 2.5 years to do it.
Okay. We're good.
But
We're good.
but you know what? But this was the right timing. And
The
now
other thing
we've had great guests.
The other thing is to surround yourself with people who really get where you're going.
Right.
It's so interesting because there are people in my life who will say to me, "You're working again? I mean, all you do is work." Yeah, well, I get a big mission in life, guys.
Right.
And it's not going to happen working 9 to 5.
Yeah.
It's just not happening.
Yeah.
Not happening. As much as I would love to sit back on a cabana and say, I worked from 9 to 5 today. My clients, they work 30 hours a week on average. Mm-hmm. And that's really great for them because they've put the time in, and now they're at a point where they can do that. Yeah. But they also don't have the mission that I have.
Right.
And the mission that you have, Barb, too. I mean, they're huge. Right. They're not it's not about me. What I'm doing has nothing to do with me at all.
Right.
Has nothing.
And yet look at the times that we've done a show about where you and I, our two missions, have absolutely, in some ways, it's like, oh, it's synchronicity. That the things that we both want to do, that have such a lot of things in common, like our big, audacious, hairy goals.
Oh, it's gotten bigger. That goal has gotten so much bigger, Barb, since I talked about it last.
Okay, so we're gonna have to chat, because one of the parts that has grown for me is that in these retreat things, we're gonna have wounded warriors who are going to, on my side of it, we're gonna have wounded warriors who are going to help with the at-risk kids.
So the at-risk kids piece has changed. How about an orphanage?
Oh, perfect. We'll add to it. The thing is, that's okay. So this is our life. Can you tell we've talked about this a few times? The thing is, though, one of the things that I have really realized too, and this is a life lesson, and if I'm talking to you, I hope I'm talking to you. Life is not about this or that.
Right.
Life is about this and that. Like, you'll just notice that we didn't say, oh yeah, we could do at-risk kids, or we could have an orphanage. No, we'll do both.
Yeah.
We're going to do both, because all we need is 15 millionaires to support it. That's all we need. You know, a millionaire, we have the dream to do it. And you know what, this is meant to be. Jason, I love you dearly, but and we're going to have a whole conversation with you next week, but this is probably why I believe the universe meant us to talk about this, because you know what? Do you know some millionaires who have that same dream of making a difference?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they're heart-centered. They're heart-centered. Let's make a difference in the world.
Yeah. That's what it's all about, is making that difference.
Having impact.
Yeah. And it's the thing that keeps me up at night and gets me up early in the morning.
Yeah.
It has got me figuring out how I can totally adjust my business completely. I'm tearing apart my business completely.
Yes.
Completely. I mean, like, down to the ground, to the grassroots, like even releasing some clients.
Mm-hmm.
I know that working with them is not going to get me where I want to go.
Right.
And I understand that. And I understand, yes, you need the money to be able to afford your daily life, whatever, but I'm thinking so much bigger.
Right.
At this point, this has nothing to do with
paying my electric bill,
expenses. Nothing to do at all. I mean, this has to do with buying this massive piece of property, with having a working horse farm and cattle ranch that supports the property, and then bringing in all these other things that are going to be life-changing for so many different people. Yeah. Yes, we're going to have retreat space for actually doing retreats, because the property just feels so good. In fact, I'm going there next week, and I'll have to tell you. Yeah, I know. I can't wait.
We're going to have a conversation. We'll do a show. We will do a show.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm going there next week to actually like feel the property, because I know for a fact this is the property, but I have to feel it. So there's that. But then using a piece of the property to have these, to be able to serve people in so many different ways, that's not going to disrupt the property. It's going to be, yes, there's going to be pods built where people will be living in it. The way I see it is these kids who are going to be living in this property, who have been just kicked around in the system, just in such a horrible way,
and just
right?
Yeah.
They're going to have their own bedrooms. They're going to have their own bathrooms. We're going to have like house parents, where it's going to be 8 rooms with kids, and then a 9th room that's going to be for the house parent. And we're going to have, for every 2 pods, that we're going to have an assigned therapist that's going to be on staff, who's going to help to deal with these kids. We're going to have tutors for these kids. There's going to be a college program for them, so that when they grow up, they're not just kicked out at 18 and said, good luck, have a good life.
Right, exactly.
No.
And this is on my side. This is where the wounded warriors come in, because they need a mission.
Yeah.
They need to get back their purpose, especially if and part of, for my thing is that I want to be able to have a place for them to come and recuperate and get back whatever limbs they have lost. Yeah. It's all going to be part of that recovery, because they have put their life on the line for us.
Yeah.
And how dare we not take care of them?
So there's a lot of moving pieces in this thing. And, at this point, it's really tearing apart my own business and structuring in such a way that I can run this cattle ranch and horse farm. And incidentally, one thing I've started doing, this is so great. There's actually a course on Texas A&M, an online course that teaches you how to run a cattle ranch. Well, I signed up for it, and I'm in it.
Cool beans.
I know, right?
Beans. Yes. How to run
yes, there was something like that out there. Yeah. I went looking for YouTube videos about how to do it, and I came across this course and was like, done.
Exactly. You know what? YouTube, that's one of my favorite things, is Google and YouTube are 2 of my favorite friends, because you can just type in anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yes, you'll come across some of the shadies, and you have to do your due diligence. Absolutely. However, it can give you a spark of, I can do that. Yeah.
I heard a very interesting statistic, and I know we need to wrap it up, but I heard a very interesting statistic that only 8% of views on YouTube are by people in the United States.
Really?
Isn't that fascinating?
Wow, that's fascinating.
I know. Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and statistics, I love statistics.
I know.
That's like with me, one of my favorite ones is that only 18% of people will buy from somebody that's not their personality match.
Yeah.
Oh, yike. Oh, really?
Yeah. I know.
Okay. So the other 82% are the ones that you need to talk to. Yeah. It's like, oh, brother.
Here we go back to 80-20. There we go. Everything in life is 80-20.
Yeah.
Well, Jason, thank you for watching the show. And I agree with you that you're a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. So do I.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to look forward to seeing Jason Tracy here next week. If you don't know Jason, he is an amazing sales trainer. I mean, he knows he is like the guy to talk to when it comes to doing sales, and he's a podcast host. Yes, don't we love that? Because we all need to know more about podcasting, and we need to know more about sales. So Jason is going to be on with us next week. Again, if you've been watching this today, please type in #replay so we know that you were here. And let's end the show. Have a good day.
You know what? I just want to add, when you're putting a little love in the comment, put down something that you're going to do today to promote your happiness.
Oh yeah, and promote your business too,
or promote your business. Promote your business and promote your dream. Yeah. You never know who is going to see it. Yeah, you never know. Yeah, you never know who's listeing. Put it out there.
Yeah.
Take the plunge.
Reignite your dream.
Reignite your dream.
Yep.
So,
and if you're thinking that would be a great website to have, I already own it. I just need to do some work on it.
Yeah.
Right. I need to do some work on it. Yeah, I know. I haven't touched it since 2015. Oh well.
Yeah. But you know what? Yeah. And we don't try to reinvent the wheel. Let's go back to that. Don't try. Just put it out there.
Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be presented.
That's right. Get it done.
Get it done.
All right. Well, Barb, I hope you have a wonderful week.
I'm going to have a blast next week. I'm going to do my webinar on clarity, cash, conversations and cash in the group. We're putting the link in the show notes. So yeah, come join us. It's a freebie.
Yep. Absolutely. Have a good time. Yeah.
Enjoy
it. When is that Clarity Conversations?
It's going to be on Wednesday at 11.
Wednesday at 11.
And it's
11 Central.
11 Central. Yep. Right. And it's going to be in the group Wisdom Keepers, Empowering Women. But the link is to Zoom. So even if you're not part of the group, you can still sign up you can also still register for the webinar, even if you're not part of the group. So don't worry about the group. Just sign up for you'll just go right into Zoom to register.
Awesome. All right, everybody, have a good week, and we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.